Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to week number 3 of Rocket League here on Ball State Sports Link Esports. I'm Corey Vink, being joined by Clay Easton. How you doing, Clay?
Oh, good. It's a week and a half. I'm ready to get back into it, honestly.
I know.
Exciting.
It's real exciting times. Tonight we'll be seeing Tristan Studeville and Gatorman taking on the team of not Alex Deruvo and Adam Patton. We're going to be seeing Nolan Given and Adam Patton, as Nolan Given filling in for this week, as we saw week number 1, Alex Deruvo and Nolan Given.
I mean, it's interesting. It's like a three-man team right there. You got the rotation.
It does feel like a three-man team. It's something we really weren't expecting when we started this series. And then in the match number 2, we'll be seeing Ryan Rimler and Darius taking on Claudia Como and Zarcia. But we're going to take a quick look at a week and a half ago when we had our last week 2 matchups, and we'll be discussing what happened there. And in the first match, we saw Ryan Rimler and Darius defeat Studeville and Gatormelon 3-1 in that series. And we've just seen so far during this series, Rimler and Darius, they've been the team to beat.
I mean, they've been the team to beat. They've been extremely proficient in attacking, defending. And you're talking about transitions. You've seen both of them working together efficiently, and it's got them a ton of wins.
Exactly. And then we saw in the other match that day, Adam Patton and Deruvo. Patton's first foray into the series so far. It was his first appearance, and he really did a phenomenal job taking over, and they get the series sweep. They won 3-0 on that day in the series.
Yeah, I was surprised. I mean, I didn't think it was going to be a 3-0 sweep, but I don't know. Defense last week, like a week and a half, like when we were talking and broadcasting it, I know that like both of us were surprised at all the teams and how the defense was actually going in all the games. Honestly, they were both not really high-scoring games.
So we're going to take a quick look here at the standings. In first place is Rimler and Darius. Second place is Deruvo and Patton. Third place, Como and Zarcia. And then fourth place, Studeville and Gatormelon. So with that, we're going to toss it over to the arena live, and we'll see the first match of Tristan Studeville and Gatormelon taking on Nolan Given and Adam Patton.
Ooh, can't wait to see if Patton and Nolan can work together.
I know. That's probably the one thing I would watch for the most with like a 3-man team type like that, is how much team chemistry you're able to build week to week when there's a constant rotation of who's playing and who's not.
It'll be interesting because I don't think Nolan and Adam have played together, and you know Adam was used to Deruvo, and then now he has to work with another new teammate and kind of figure out how he plays.
It's kind of hard to build the chemistry when, like I said, it's just like it's almost just a carousel of new teammates every week. But we'll see how they can adapt. We know Gatormelon and Studeville have played both weeks so far. They're coming into week 3. They're in 4th place. All 4 teams will make the playoffs, so we could very well see. And like
you never know. They could take it and win.
They could be 0-3 in the regular season, turn around in the playoffs, and just win the whole thing. So.
I mean, playoffs, it's one of those where you never really. It's a different mentality. Some people will show up, some people don't, and. Well, we'll see. I mean, it's one of those where a team that has a terrible season can then bounce back and show that, hey, we're still really good.
Well, just a little reminder, it's a best-of-5 series, so you could win like 3-0 or 3-1. So first to 3 wins through the series gets the series win, and it's 5-minute games. The esports players are not allowed to intentionally score until 1 minute remaining in regular time, and if it does go to overtime, for the first minute of overtime, the esports players are not allowed to score. Then after that, it is a free-for-all, sudden death overtime.
I mean, we've seen a bunch of overtimes, and it'll be interesting today how from week 2, is it going to be as defensive as it was, or is everybody going to open back up the offense and say, well, I don't really care about defending. I'm just going to score more goals.
Exactly. 3:25 remaining in game number 1. Still 0-0. We saw a much stronger defensive game from all 4 teams last time out in week 2, and even though it was a defensive game, both series were won fairly handedly. It was 3-1 to Rimler and Darius, and then it was also 3-0 to Patton and Deruvo. So we've seen here, as the first goal goes in for the day, and what we've been told is that if it is an accidental goal from one of the esports players before a minute remaining, they'll let the other team get another goal, even things up. It's a very sporting thing to do here in the Rocket League arena.
I mean, it's just so everybody's like even playing field, and no matter what, until that 1 minute hits, and then it's fair game. But
exactly. So 3 minutes left to go. Gatormelon and Studeville take a lead here. So we see them trying to. We see Patton here juggling the ball to the goal to even things up, and as we expected. So
yeah, of course.
Sporting move here from Gatormelon and Studeville.
Oh, and congrats to Patton. He's now grand champ finally.
I know. I told me before the show he was able to achieve that rank, so congratulations to Patton on becoming a grand champion for Season 9.
Yeah, and so new promotion for him. So can he? Oh,
And then right off the kickoff, and it's Studeville who gets the goal. So a 2-1 lead here for Gator Melon and Studeville. And this one is a complete legal goal as it was before the minute mark.
I think it was just a miscommunication by Given and Adam there. I mean,
now we see.
I got nothing to defend.
Oh, what
that
a
one.
great save there by Gator Melon. Saving a surefire goal is.
Now, see, this is interesting because Patton, he was able to control a bunch when he played with Deruvo, and he controlled the ball more and then would line it up for her and then shoot. Is he going to do the same thing with Given is the real question.
Exactly. I mean, they could be switching to a completely different strategy coming into this series as, like we said, it's a new teammate. So we'll see if the chemistry was there as much as it was with Alex Deruvo, as we saw them play extremely well together, getting a clean sweep last week.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because you're talking about Gator and Studeville coming off of 2 hard weeks, not
getting the results they were looking for.
Not the chemistry they exactly probably wanted, but they're working it out. You always gotta feel out and get all the kinks done, and then after that happens, you get right back in and you hopefully get some wins.
Like we said, I mean, they can go into this thing, they could lose this series and go into the playoffs and just win the whole thing. So it's entirely possible that this first 3 weeks is them just working out how things are going in the team. And as soon as playoffs roll around, they're ready to roll. So we have about 30 seconds here till Patton and Gator Melon. What a demolition there by Patton on Gator Melon. We saw that a lot last week with the esports players just constantly taking each other out with demolitions, trying to break up the flow of the game.
I mean, it was one of those where they were just kind of all the frustrations were coming out. They're like, no.
We saw week 1, they were trying to show off the entire time, and then week 2 is trying not to let the others show off as much. So 5 seconds here as we're about to, and we see Gator Melon take out Patton right before the time limit. So we'll see if that comes into play here. As Nolan Given Studeville fighting over the ball. So narrow lead as we see Patton trying to go for a shot. Gator Melon with a nice corkscrew save there through the air. Trying to set something up through the middle. He gets the boost, but Patton clearing out very well.
Well, and you can see
that. Patton, he's clear through. What a shot. Long-range effort from midfield. Patton ties it up with 36 seconds remaining.
Well, you just see the defense from the wall transition to immediately a miscommunication by Gator, probably just a little bit of mistiming, and he missed the ball and it opened up Patton and just perfectly get an easy shot.
He noticed that Gator wasn't back on defense. He had a clean look. Can't turn those down.
I mean, now the game's tied.
Exactly, and we see Patton again able to hit one off the volley into the lower left corner.
Now that's just a good mid-range shot.
Exactly, 2-1 down to 3-2 up here in the span of about 5 seconds for Patton and Given, and now they have a lead here with 30 seconds left.
Here's the chemistry.
I know, it's starting to build. We're seeing it.
Because if you saw in that last one, Given kind of offset Gator by hitting him, so he kind of went flying.
Now we see Gator trying to make a play on offense, going for those aerial hits, but Patton coming in with a great aerial save. Gator trying to set himself up. Patton doing his best on defense. I mean, this is just a duel right now. This is sensational watching Gator Melon.
They're going at it.
Now 10 seconds left, a 1-goal lead. What a clearance there, but Gator's going to have to do something here.
Can he get it
fast? Yeah,
always going to try and juggle.
Well, that might be a little risky from Patton. We'll see the ball still in the air here. Still a chance, and it bounces right in front of the goal.
He didn't have enough boost.
That's what it sometimes comes down to.
I mean, sometimes you gotta hope that you can just roll it in, but especially when you're trying to get those aerials, it's not. It helps to have that boost, and especially when you're trying to volley that close to the goal.
So 3-2, the final score here. Patton and Given getting the win in this match. We saw Patton really come alive there in the last minute. And
it was a totally different second half of the game right there.
Exactly. As soon as that minute rolled around, Patton turned it around from 2-1 down to 3-2 up. I mean, that's something you see in Rocket League a lot, is deficits being turned around very quickly. I mean, we saw that last week. I mean, it was, what was it, 4-1 to turn around to 5-4 in the span of like 20 seconds?
That was a crazy game to watch.
Exactly. I mean, that turned the whole tide of the series because it was about to be 1-0 to Como and Zarcia, and Patton and DeRubo were able to turn it around in that one game.
Well, and it's one of those where Rocket League is such a quick-paced game that if you're able to get goals right at the start, like the starting kickoff, then it's easy for you to easily take the tempo of the game and start winning or scoring more, and you get ahead of the other team.
I know it's something where if you have an early lead, like a sizable early lead, if your teammate, if you're, say, Patton or Gatormelon, if Studeville and Given are able to, get goals early and build yourself a lead, that's much more comfortable for you as you're able to just, instead of going all out on attack, you're able to play more of a defensive game plan, hold your lead, and just kind of stunt the play of your fellow esports player,
And we'll see that Patton and Gator just are going to go at it tooth to tooth. It'll be one of those where it's just all bad.
We saw it for like the whole last minute. It was quite a duel. Given with the shot here, slow roller into the bottom corner. 1-0 lead here for Patton and Given early.
And see, that's one of those where Studeville almost had it, but Given's like, no, I got you.
And we saw the clutch assist there by Patton. It won't go on the score sheet, but he bumped Gatormelon out of the way, who was about to make the save. So clutch offensive play there. It's a nice check if we're playing hockey. So.
And I mean, it's honestly one of those where demolitions to destroy the opposing goalie or defender, like once they're in that transition, opens up a totally new type of game and a free goal for you.
As someone who plays goalie in Rocket League a fair amount, I take attempted demolitions and bumping me out of the way. I take that as a compliment to know that I've been doing my job on defense. So if
I can't say I play specifically just goalie. I try to transition, but it's hard. It's definitely, my defense is a lot better than my attacking play.
That's how I feel. So I like to play defense, but we see a attack here building from Patton and Given. Gatormelon doing his defensive work there. We're trying to. It's a 1-0 lead here for Patton and Given with 3 minutes left, and
you can see Studeville just waiting in the midfield for the cross.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing Gatormelon trying to just tee up something here on offense. Like we said, for the first couple minutes, he's only allowed to play provider. That was a clean look he had on goal, but
it was. But
you saw the restraint as we see Gatormelon trying to tee it up, but it eventually trickles into the goal. So we'll probably see Patton here turn one into his own, or turn in a goal here and restore the 1-0 lead.
And that's in the sense, like, props to Given of keeping Studeville away from the center, like knocking her off and constantly making her trying to change her position and not get a clean cross too.
Gatormelon saying, "Oh, I'm spaceman. You guys are supposed to score." I mean, that's something you see is that on defense, you see Given just trying to take Studeville completely out of the equation, and I mean that makes it harder on Gatormelon because he's essentially just playing defense for the first 4 minutes and having to make up the deficit in the last minute.
But I mean, sometimes when you're comfortable, the other team, if you're comfortable, you're just like, okay, I don't have to worry about playing so much offense, and then you just switch to defense, and honestly, that can really hurt you. And I think that's what happened in the first round, is that Gatormelon and Studeville just played a little bit too defensive, and Pat was able to score some great goals.
It's almost a sacrificial demolition there as Patton just kind of jumped in the way. I mean, he took the demolition, but he eventually, in the process, cleared the ball out. So I think he'll take that one. So, 2-1 lead here for Patton and Given as Patton trying to set up Given here. It's a nice ball in, but an even better clearance by Gatormelon.
And see, those aerial hits and the aerial passes are always hard to get to come off, or at least I think they are. Most Grand Champs can do them with ease. I'm like, okay, cool.
You just think they're showing off, don't you?
Oh, they always show off.
That's half the fun of Rocket League.
I mean, it's like any other real soccer player. As soon as they have the ball, they want to do a few tricks,
I feel like that was specifically at Neymar, but we'll leave the real world stuff out of it. So, a minute 40 left here, 2-1 lead. Patton clearing the ball out. Gatormelon trying to keep it in his offensive third. Ooh. Given with the demolition on Studeville.
Given
no
just
mercy
denying.
For his fellow athlete.
And see, that's the thing. Given's just been taking Studeville out of the equation. And it's hard for Gator to score because...
Oh, here we go. It might be going into off the post, and Patton able to clear. That was nearly about to be an accidental, very long-range goal. But 10 seconds here until Patton and Gatormelon are allowed to really show out on offense.
You kind of see they're both lining up trying to get just what.
So 1 minute remaining, and Studeville misses it.
I think
sitting at the open goal, Gatormelon goes for it with a fantastic save by Given.
Gator
Phenomenal
had the
defense.
goal right
and here
there.
goes Patton. Keeps it down off of Gatormelon and in. And a 3-1 lead for Patton and Given here early or late in the match.
Now see, this is just unlucky because that shot that Gatormelon had, he had the goal, but then he pushed, or I think it was Patton and him were fighting, and then Given hit Gatormelon to then push the ball back into the field instead of going into the goal.
So 48 seconds remaining, 3-1 lead here for Patton and Given. They could take a 2-0 series lead here. Is Given with an attempt on goal, but cleared away by Gatormelon. See if Gatormelon can try to rally his team here late.
You can tell he just was trying to get the little chip in. Oh,
the nice effort, but off the bar with the rebound off the post. And
The
going the
long shot.
complete other way. Had a second bite of the cherry there, but unfortunately unable to finish that. So with 20 seconds left, it is still 3-1. See if Patton can get back on defense here. It's a good effort by Gatormelon. He cuts the lead down to 1 with 10 seconds remaining.
And that's just excellent aerial play. Using the wall to keep the momentum of the ball going, and then you also are using your own boost to make sure that you're staying at top speed and almost faster than the ball.
Shots that bounce like that are so hard to read on defense. So Patton had a tough time trying to gauge how that one was going to bounce. So all Given and Patton have to do is hold on for 6 more seconds.
Oh, is
Gatormelon going for it, and he ties it up with 4 seconds remaining with the aerial hit.
See, now he just needs to get back into his rhythm. There he goes.
So with 2 late goals here for Gatormelon, it is all square with 4 seconds remaining. So we'll see if this goes to overtime, if we're going to see some very, very late game heroics.
Maybe.
Well, it's in the air with 1 second remaining. We'll see what happens. Gatormelon with the effort. Saved by Patton. We'll see if they can keep this one in the air. And he does, but it barely rolls off.
You could tell he was wanting to score that, too. I mean, he had it lined up perfectly. He was controlling it, and now it's overtime. And honestly, it'll be one of those where we'll see, because they can't score until the first minute. So the esports champs have to go back to the relying on their teammates until that 1 minute mark, and then they can start going.
Yeah, first minute of overtime is strictly athlete scoring, and then after that it is sudden death overtime with both esports players allowed to score on offense. So we have about 30 more seconds of that until we can turn it around and see Patton and Gatormelon go back to their dueling ways.
It'll just be interesting. Are they just going to control it in their own final third and then just then open up?
That's what I've always wondered, is if it's like with a minute 10 remaining, are you trying to like juggle it and hold on to it until the minute rolls around? See Patton here on offense, or on defense.
And Patton did exactly that, just taking it his final third and wanting to transition now. And both esports players are now able to score. Ooh, Gatormelon with a great block. Is he going to juggle it through? He's taking it. Chip. Patton with an excellent clearance. And now the transition from offense to defense as Gatormelon and Studeville trying to transition their play.
It's a great save there by Gatormelon getting... Patton looked like he's almost one-on-one with Studeville there in the offensive third.
It's definitely one of those where that transition play, especially in twos, is key.
We're seeing here, it's Patton with a fantastic save getting away from Gatormelon.
Wow.
Given almost getting in the way of his teammate there.
No worries. It's one of those where communication.
Oh, what a save by Patton on defense.
But Patton and Gatormelon are just excellent at transitions right now. Like, look at how both of them are playing. Like, from defense to offense, they're both moving so fast across this field.
Oh, here we see Patton juggling. Can he get the shot off? Just a chip over Gatormelon, and it gets the win for Patton and Given. 2-0 lead here in the series.
Dang.
I mean, that was just a beautiful effort. Gatormelon almost getting back to it, but just enough of a chip. 4-3 win for Patton and Given.
Yeah, just quick enough where Patton couldn't really, like... I mean, not Patton. Gatormelon couldn't really gauge what was happening. But, I mean, they can still come back. I believe in them. I always got to shoot for the people that aren't winning. You know, I always believe they'll come back in the series, right?
It's very well possible. 2-0 lead here for Patton and Given. So they could close out the series here with another sweep. So this is do or die here for Gatormelon and Studeville.
See if they can get a better spot in the playoffs.
It's very possible. Right now they're Patton and DeRuvo and Given, that three-man team. This is their chance to really put a hold on second place.
I say it all depends too, because I think like if Darius and Rimler lose later, then
it's very possible they can take the second seed. But
yeah,
as of right now, it's 0-0.
But that's also dependent on, I guess, goal difference. I mean, Darius and Rimler have a really nice cushion.
Oh yeah, I mean they're comfortably ahead when it comes to offense and scoring. So you see Given here with the effort and a save in reverse by Gatormelon. The high-scoring affair in the last game, 4-3. Studeville nearly getting the goal there. She
almost had it. She was
in just a bit outside.
I mean, and it'll be those where she just keeps trying at it, and then she'll get the timing right, and then boom, a goal.
You see Patton just kind of lay it off there for Given, and Given take a swipe at it and unable to convert. Now we see Gatormelon trying to slow things down to nearly teed it up for Studeville, just a bit out, or just a little late on, and see another attempt here by Gatormelon to set something up.
You can tell Patton's just trying to work with Given. And Gatormelon with a great stop. I didn't think Patton was trying to shoot, but it was a fantastic stop.
See another chance here. What a Patton here, just kind of waiting for the ball just to bounce off of him.
Well, and you can tell Given almost trying to just demo Gatormelon. He was trying to just jostle him off the ball a little bit.
You can see Given likes to play that enforcer role.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, it'll be interesting. Is Studeville able to stay in the midfield and get ready for the cross that Gatormelon can provide, or is Given going to keep constantly pushing her out of the midfield?
You can almost barely not see it, but you saw Given there is knocking Studeville out of the line of fire there. And nearly, she had a clear look on goal, and Given is completely knocking her away. Like we said, Given likes to play that enforcer role.
He does really well at it, too. It's not like it's, I mean, you don't really have to worry about any shots from Studeville because he's just pushing her out of the way.
It was the same thing we saw with Gatormelon. I mean, Given was knocking Gatormelon away, and it's just he's found his position and his niche in the game. So at least we know he's doing that well, and he's found his spot on the team.
See, I despise people that play those like enforcer roles.
Hey man, it's an important role. It gets the job done. So 0-0 here.
Kind of just Patton and Gatormelon passing to each other in midfield right now.
And that's pretty much what it is. I mean, they're trying to find ways to set up Given and Studeville, and it's just both are doing very good defensively to kind of keep the other athlete out of it. We've seen Given and Studeville knocking each other away from easy looks on goal. So,
and surprisingly, so far in the series, both games have been pretty low scoring as well for most Rocket League games that you watch. I was surprised at that how many goals have actually been scored. I mean,
this looks more like a game that we saw in week 2, where it was just a defensive struggle the entire way through. So the minute 37 here, we're very close to seeing both teams' esports players allowed to score. So we see an aerial hit here by
he's just juggling in the air right now,
trying to set up Studeville. And he has to stop it himself before scoring. He has it teed up here, and Patton eventually able to clear as Studeville wasn't able to get there quick enough to get the clean opportunity on goal.
And see, what's cool about the demos is you get that 2 seconds of just free time that person's out of the game. So it's really one of those where can Gator demo Patton, and then in that 2 seconds can Studeville then transition and get the goal.
Here we go, 1 minute remaining. We'll see Patton and Gatormelon allowed to score. We'll see what both of them can do. It's a juggling effort here in front of the blue goal. See Patton doing his best to thwart the defense there. He has a clean look. He's out of boost, but it doesn't matter. He's able to get onto it.
It's all about that flip speed.
I mean, he was able to get there, and he was able to get up and just get enough on it to get that long-range effort into the net. 1-0 lead for Patton and Given. They have a good chance to close out the series here early. They have a chance for that sweep.
They do, and it'd be like last week almost.
And that'd be 2 sweeps in a row for Patton and his respective teammate. So might we see a new favorite emerge in the playoffs if
maybe
the way we've seen Patton perform?
I mean, if we've seen the way that Gibbons been playing, he could keep Rimler out of the ball, and then Patton just has to face Darius.
That's seems like a solid strategy. Patton is juggling here, and he's able to keep the ball on the top of his car all the way into the net for a 2-0 lead with 18 seconds remaining.
He's like, I'm just gonna carry it really quick. Just don't mind me, guys.
I mean, he's clearly getting the job done. Patton is. I mean, he's looking like a candidate for just through 2 weeks of playing for a possible MVP nod.
Hey, Gibbons doing a great job. Don't discount.
I'm not trying to discount what Gibbons been doing for the team. We've just seen Patton take over time and time again once that minute mark rolls around.
It's very true. But then again, Patton's very good at those transition plays and catching Gator Melon out in that open spot.
Ball still in the air here. Is Patton trying to get another goal before the match ends.
He almost got the double tap.
And it hits the ground, and that is it. A clean sweep for Patton and Given as they win that game 2-0. We've seen Patton just take over time and time again as soon as that minute mark rolls around. They've just been, he's single-handedly just dragging his team to win after win after win.
I mean, he's doing it well, though, because he's played excellent defense, excellent controlling at the midfield, and then he's also great at the transition plays. I've definitely not been disappointed at this at all. This is awesome to just see the type of player he is. Oh, no, Patton's been doing a fantastic job, and we've seen the strategy really improve from them. As we've seen during the first 4 minutes of the game, we've seen Patton and his teammate really we've seen the athlete take over on defense, just knock the other one out of the way. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as the minute mark rolls around, offense switches over to Patton, and he just takes over, man. He just has that ability. And it's honestly one of those where is Studeville and Gatormelon then in the final, are they going to be able to talk to each other, transition, get those goals in that first, 5 or 4 minutes, to just, open it up so that Gatormelon can play a little bit more defensive and then control his midfield game? So we saw the team of Patton and Given get the win there, 3-0 clean sweep. They won that last game 2-0. But coming up next, we're going to have Ryan Rimler and Darius taking on Claudia Como and Zarcia. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with the next match of Rocket League here on Ball State Sports Link. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Rocket League on Ball State Sports Link Esports. We just saw the last match there where it was a 3-0 sweep of Patton and Given. They just beat Tristan Studeville and Gatormelon. It was we saw Patton come alive there and just lead the team to the sweep. Clearly showing us that he was a very versatile player, that he can transition from both offense to defense not only quickly but efficiently. So coming up right now, we're going to be seeing the first-ranked Ryan Rimler and Darius taking on Claudia Como and Zarcia. We're going to go live to the arena. So stay tuned. We're going to see the number 1 ranked team so far this series, 2-0, Rimler and Darius, taking on Claudia Como and Zarcia. Like I said, the thing that's driving me crazy about them is that they're just so good at scoring. Oh, Rimler immediately with a long-range effort right off the kickoff, right off the crossbar. Deflected effort again right off the crossbar. Rimler's really trying to get a goal here within the first 10 seconds of the match. We can see he's feeling up to it this week. Yeah, he's clearly just wanting more compared to last week. Last week we saw him dip a little bit in the offensive proficiency, but he's like, no. This week we're really going to be showing what we got. And then that one almost going in for Como and Zarcia is, as of right now, Darius and Rimler they're in first place. They're 2-0. Both series they won fairly handedly. They've only dropped 1 game throughout. I think they've only lost 1 game in both of the series, right? Yeah, they've only lost 1 game throughout the entire series, as we see Darius trying to set something up for Rimler and just unable to. But Como just destroying Rimler, so clearly. Clearly a proud moment for Claudia Como. It's one of those where if you can stop Rimler from getting into that open position and stop the ball from even getting played to him, then you don't even have to worry about the scoring in the first 4 minutes.
That's the scary thing about facing Darius and Rimler is that both of these players have the ability to get goals in numbers. I mean, during those first 4 minutes, we've seen Rimler just get himself a hat trick and have a very comfortable lead when it comes down to the later stages.
Yeah, and I mean, it's cool though because Zarcia is very, very technically good, and but like, I like his just style of play. It's kind of like it has a little flash, and then he's able to pass it and hit it in like some really quick and interesting ways.
Como with the attempted shot there, and it was blocked by Darius. Darius going for the aerial hit, just a bit short. Zarcia trying to set something up for Claudio Como, and Darius cleaning up very efficiently on defense.
Also, Darius switching to the Dominus this week. Talk about card change.
Saw a deflected effort there from Zarcia.
Dominator side.
Just kind of a chipped effort, so we'll probably see things evened up here right off the kickoff.
I was gonna say, Zarcia's gonna get it back. Still be an even game. We'll be all right.
Exactly. You see Zarcia here just taking it, and it's still all tied up. As we know this week that if it's an accidental goal by Darius or Zarcia early, or they just score on accident before the 1 minute mark, we'll see things evened up to keep things fair.
And keep it interesting. Make it more of a close game. But I still is what's gonna be crazy is Como's just gonna constantly, is she gonna keep Rimler off of the ball? And is that how is Darius gonna transition his game style and his play to that?
And see, that's the thing about playing against Darius and Rimler is it's not just so much like we saw last. See Rimler here with the effort, it bounces off of Zarcia. Rimler with the poacher's effort there, he's able to capitalize.
Zarcia a 1v3 right there.
Not much he can do about it defensively.
His own teammate just miscommunicating. It's all right.
So
I definitely have done that one too many times in my Rocket League career.
Yeah, that happens. So 2-1 here, the score. 2:26 left to go. See Darius and Rimler leading, and it's a effort off of Darius into the net. As you see here, Zarcia bringing the ball around, and Darius just might be hard to do that again if he tried. An effort like that. It was a hell of a shot, even if it was accidental. Off the wall.
Definitely a perfect angle.
Exactly. We see Zarcia just taking it,
And
evening things back up to that one goal lead.
And it's one of those where those wall shots, whenever they come off, are always beautiful.
Yeah, because they look super difficult. See Rimler get that goal there. I mean, that's been the main thing we've seen throughout this series is that Ryan Rimler is able to contribute offensively the way that we haven't seen with the other athletes on the other 3 teams.
Well, and you can definitely tell that he probably takes a few practice rounds outside of this.
Yes, we can tell this ain't his first laps around the Rocket League arena. As we see Rimler trying to get an easy just walking the ball into the net, and Zarcia coming up on defense.
It'll be interesting. Can Zarcia then play from his own final third, pass to Como, and get a goal back here?
That's something that we heard Gator Melon say after the broadcast last week, is that the toughest thing about playing against Darius and Rimler is that you're not just defending the esports player, you have to defend both of them, or else the other one's going to get loads of goals. See a very, see if that can, no, it's just wide,
I mean, a great clearance though. Definitely got it out of his final third, was able to transition to offense.
Now see Rimler trying to turn the ball into the net, and Zarcia, I mean, that was about as last ditch as he can get for a save. See Darius going way up in the air to get the ball.
Excellent pass though. I mean, it got right to Rimler. He just miscued his jump a little bit there.
See Rimler with a 100% boost there. He turned around. That's the main thing we see is that the difference between the athletes and the pros or the esports players is that managing of the boost is just so much different if you know what you're doing.
Well, and most of the time, you actually, if you look, they don't use boosts. They're using double jumps to keep their speed. Also, it's excellent drifting and try to just get those transitional plays going so that they don't have to worry about the boost.
As we are under 1 minute remaining, Darius and Zarcia are allowed to score. So we saw Zarcia nearly able to tie things up here late, but Darius coming up with a huge save. Zarcia trying to dribble things into the net. Tries to go for the chipped effort. What a goal by Zarcia to tie things up with 32 seconds remaining.
I think Darius just got a little lax here on defense, but
you see him just sitting there in the net, and then at the last second, Zarcia able to just chip it right under the bar. I mean, that took a lot of skill. That was a gorgeous effort there by Zarcia to tie things up here late.
Darius almost got a touch to it.
Oh, here we go. Rimler, he could have a tap in, and he does. He nearly missed it, but Rimler looked like he came off the back wing of his car, just able to get it into the net. I mean, he almost missed that.
I mean, he almost sent it right to the post, and then it would have
Zarcia was able to almost get there. He didn't get much power on it. But nonetheless, it's still a goal. 4-3 lead here for Darius and Rimler. 23 seconds remaining.
Which is also interesting because we haven't seen much of Darius in this final minute here.
No, I mean, we've seen Zarcia really putting in a shift up, getting a goal and also two other near chances for them. But 5 seconds remaining. This is it. This is probably the last attack. As Darius keeps the ball alive, trying to get a goal for himself late, and it hits the ground. Darius unable to complete the move, and it is a 1-0 lead in the series for Rimler and Darius.
But I mean, props to Zarcia and Como. They kept it close. I mean, it was almost a series that could have. This is a series that could be really close, honestly. Because, I mean, Como is keeping Rimler off of the midfield, which is great for Zarcia because it's easier for him to defend.
We see here, this is the reason why Rimler and Darius are #1 in the standings right now. Even goal share between the two of them. 2 goals apiece for both of them.
And it'll be interesting to see, is Darius going to open up his game a little bit more than we just saw there? Because, like I said, we didn't see him that much, and it was Rimler that actually got them to go ahead on the goal there.
Like we saw during the week 1, we had to give certain handicaps as Zarcia accidentally hits it into his own net. Claudio Como dishing out the assist, so even if it be accidental. So we'll see.
Right place, right time.
Exactly. That's all you need to be in this game of Rocket League.
Oh, for sure.
See him go. Both Darius and Rimler went for it, so we'll see Darius chip one in here, and it's all square with 4:47 left to go.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the underdogs in this series and say Como and Zarcia.
You think so?
Even though Darius and Rimler got the 1-0 lead right
It
now?
is very hard for me to bet against Darius and Rimler throughout this series. We've just seen just the offensive firepower that those two have is just unmatched by pretty much any other team.
It's definitely always fun to see them play, though, because they both have very good team chemistry.
They have great chemistry, and they have great positional awareness.
And I think that's why they're both able to score so much, is because of their chemistry and positional awareness, like you were talking about.
So 1-1 here with 4:23 left to go. Zarcia trying to tee things up for Claudia Como. And we'll see if Darius can. Rimler and Darius both going for the ball there. As Zarcia, Como going for the shot, and it goes in. It says it came off of Zarcia. I thought that was a goal for Claudia Como. We'll see here on the replay.
And she misses it by an inch.
Oh, she missed it barely. She barely missed it.
By an inch. It's always those slow rolling balls that go into the goal. You're just like, come on.
I mean, Como and Zarcia are 1 inch away from actually having a legitimate 2-1 lead here in game number 2. It's a game of inches, Rocket League.
I know. One missed time jump.
Exactly. So 2-2.
Highly recommend Lord of the Rings.
4:06 left to go. You're 2-2, all tied up. Rimler going with the shot, unable to line up the angle correctly, and goes just wide of the post.
And that kickoff play by, ooh, excellent pass right there.
Oh, it was a nice effort there to try to tee up Como. Zarcia just kind of, with that deft touch, to just kind of leave it where it stood.
Well, you can just tell that Zarcia is keeping Darius off of the ball so that he's trying to control the ball more, so Darius isn't able to pass to Rimler.
Oh, it is hanging right in front of the goal. Mid-air demolition. You see Rimler doing a great defensive job there, getting the clearance.
That's excellent pitch.
Now we see Darius is kind of juggling, trying to set up. Rimler is a great chipped effort in the box, and Rimler get there nearly, but forcing a fantastic save by Zarcia.
Did I just see Rimler almost do an aerial?
That would have been sensational to see. Como nearly with a shot on goal, missing by an inch. So now we see Darius with the same play, just a little chip up for Rimler, and again, Zarcia just at the last second knocking the ball away.
I'm telling you, he's just making it hard for Darius to control that ball in the final third.
We've seen twice in a row now, we've seen the exact same play from Rimler and Darius, where Darius will juggle the ball down to near the goal, kind of just chip it up and let Rimler try to get the hit off of it.
Excellent aerial passing there by Darius, though.
Now we see Rimler trying to set something up, see if he can tee it up for himself, as Darius is not allowed to score.
Zarcia, another excellent save, per usual.
I mean, he is really cleaning up on defense here in this game. I mean, those were two very good chances created by Darius for Rimler that Zarcia was able to. Oh, what a save by Darius! That about went into the goal. I mean, my goodness.
I mean, Como was there.
Yes, she was. I mean, both esports players are really setting things up. Here's a great ball in. Rimler can't get on the end of it, and there again, Zarcia cleaning it up.
And he just was able to provide that clearance, and then just a little mistime from Como. Probably need a little bit boost to try and get what Darius then cleared it away from himself.
Now we see Claudia Como going with the effort, just wide. Zarcia trying to keep it in play, but cleared away by Darius. Now we see Darius again with the same play, juggling, just kind of chipping it up, and demos Zarcia just wide, unable to turn it into the post. Oh, I mean, that was about as unlucky as you can get. Ryan Rimler had two swipes at it, unable to connect on either of them.
Happens to the best of us.
Well, here we see Zarcia teeing it up, and Como went for it, and now we see Darius on the other end on the fast break.
Well, and it's definitely one of those where, as we're watching it, you can definitely tell both esports players are very quick at defending and clearing and getting back on the offense.
Now 10 seconds remaining. Oh, what a... Man, Zarcia.
Look at that transition.
On defense. My goodness. Now we see 1 minute remaining. Oh, Darius saw that he was trying to score right at the 1 minute remaining. And here we see Rimler with a shot. Oh, even what a Zarcia on defense today.
Oh, excellent.
And here we go on the other end. Zarcia gets the goal.
And that's what I'm talking about, those transitional plays. Ooh. He's so good at
3-2. Zarcia and Como take the lead here with 48 seconds remaining.
Excellent defense by Zarcia. Excellent.
My goodness,
defense.
He's looking like Paolo Maldini out here in Rocket League. Sensational
I don't
stuff.
think that many people know.
You know what? If you get the Paolo Maldini reference, good on you. Now we see Rimmer going with the effort, barely over the bar. Now Darius having to use a lot of boost to get on the end of that. Up and over
Darius
Zarcia.
Darius trying to even it up here. He's out for blood.
He is, and now we see Zarcia going with that aerial hit. Darius doing his defensive job. Now we see see if Darius and Rimler can get on the end of this ball, but they can't. Zarcia now setting it up for himself, and Rimler knocking it into his own net.
The upset, I told you it's happening.
4-2. Como and Zarcia lead over Rimler and Darius with 17 seconds remaining.
I told you the upset's going to happen.
Oh, Zarcia is, I mean, he came to play today. He is on form today. Now Darius forcing a save out of Zarcia right off the kickoff. 10 seconds remaining. Oh, and nearly a hat trick for Zarcia, but just went off the post and wide. Now Darius going for the last-ditch effort. Oh, there we see another save from Zarcia.
This transitional play by Zarcia, where in the clearances that he's able to do, that's what's saving him a lot.
Oh man, Zarcia had himself a game.
And it was also props to Como. She was in a lot more positions that Zarcia was able to pass it excellently to her.
6 saves from Zarcia that past game. I mean, what a performance there from Zarcia. I mean, on both ends of the field, he had all 4 goals. But just wow. I mean, that was sensational play there by Zarcia. I mean, that was an MVP performance right there.
That was definitely probably his best performance out of these.
Oh, that was his best game, definitely. Out of every game that he's played so far, that was definitely the best. As we see nearly Rimler hitting it off the kickoff.
Rimler's getting good at these kickoffs, I'm telling you.
We've seen that, but we saw there Darius trying to keep Zarcia away from the goal as he was trying to bump him into his own net and let Rimler take a clear shot.
You can see Darius finally went back to the OG car.
Yeah, he decided to switch it up. I guess he wasn't feeling his old car, or the one he was previously using. Oh, and Rimler nearly got the goal there.
I think he was already writing himself the headline.
Oh yeah, he saw his name written in the stars there. See Darius going for the juggle here. It's the same play we've seen all game. Another great effort there. Darius setting up Rimler, but what a save by Claudia Como.
And Zarcia just finally tired of Darius juggling, so he's like, I'm just going to destroy you.
Exactly. Claudia Como with an excellent defensive job there. Now Como setting things up. Can she finish the job? No.
Como, though, excellent control of the ball.
She's really shown up for game number 3 here.
I'm telling you.
And there we see Ryan Rimler getting the goal to restore a lead here to 1-0 for Rimler and Darius with just under 4 minutes remaining.
And props to Darius for making it so Zarcia couldn't get the save.
And that's what we've seen, is that most of the time when Rimler gets the goals, it's when Darius does a great job of clearing out Zarcia, and we saw Rimler there with, or Como with a demolition on Rimler right on the kickoff.
Well, and
no mercy.
It was kind of props to both of them, though, because they both missed the ball and collided with each other, but Como was just going faster.
See Zarcia trying to set something up there. Now Darius, quick transition here. And now Darius trying to chip things in, and it went off of Como, or off of Zarcia last, but arguing of if it's an own goal or not, but it's going to be, no matter what, we're probably going to have a goal scored here to get it back to that one goal lead.
But, I mean, excellent play, though. Darius almost had Rimler perfectly lined up to just get the goal.
Darius tried to finish the shot himself. Zarcia just doing his best there. Even when they're trying to score an own goal, I can't. So there we see it finally finished off. We saw about 3 or 4 shots went off the post there. As
I mean, it happens, right? Like, you know, you'll like miss one too many miscues.
So now we see back to a 1-goal lead. It's 2-1, 3:16 remaining here in game number 3. It's all tied up 1-1 in the series as Rimler bumps Darius off the bar again and out, but Darius cleans it up.
A little miscue there from Darius, but it's all right.
Now we see Zarcia taking a shot here and back to the 1-goal lead.
Right. Now I think we're all clear.
Yeah, we're all clear about what was going on there. Darius got caught up in the heat of the moment and just said, empty net.
He's like, oh, I guess no one's defending. Cool.
Yeah, I guess I better go out and just score real quick. We're all good. We're all friends here.
Just do a little bicycle kick.
Now Zarcia taking a shot off the kickoff, but Darius and Rimler both getting, that's the one thing we've seen from this team that could trip them up is the spacing. Both Rimler and Darius are heavy on going towards the ball.
And the own goal by
Rimler. So he gave it to Zarcia, but that was a bounce off of Zarcia with one last touch.
That definitely looked like an own goal to me.
That looked like an own goal to us. They're counted as an own goal, but Rimler with the shot and Zarcia with the save. So we're going to leave that one be and call it an own goal because that was very clearly an own goal. So 3-3 here with 2:45 remaining. Claudia Como in reverse nearly knocked that one into her own net. Seen it, almost saw another own goal. Como with the shot, and what a save by Darius.
Darius also proving he is a master at defense.
Rimler was juggling there for a second.
Wow, excellent play.
Now we see Zarcia. We saw Darius going for the same play of juggling on his roof and then just flicking it up close to the goal and letting Rimler take the shot. Zarcia is reading that now.
Yeah.
See Darius with his aerial hit. The same thing, trying to set it up.
And you'll see a lot of demolitions or bumping the other player off of the ball once you start seeing a bunch of juggling happen.
Now we see the same thing you said earlier, the transition. Zarcia trying to set something up for Claudio Como.
And here's Darius just zooming ahead with the ball. Rimler waiting in the midfield. Is he able to pass it? Ooh, just a little bit of a miscue, but it's all right. I mean, he'll come back, right?
It's possible. 3-3 with a minute 40 remaining. I mean, 40 seconds until Rimler or Darius and Zarcia are able to actually score themselves. Same play again. Yeah, we've seen Darius do probably the best job here, and it's going to count as Darius's goal as Rimler was sitting into the net.
Well, and props to Como here, though, because if she didn't hit Rimler, then it probably would have been a Rimler goal.
Very possible.
So then it still keeps the game tied.
See Zarcia, they're giving props to Como, saying you're getting it, you're getting defense. Now we see Como with the shot. Off the post, nearly. See Como backing up, and Zarcia knocks it into the net, and it's all tied up at 4 apiece with a minute 21
Como
remaining.
almost had the goal.
She almost had the goal from kickoff. That would have been something else. I think we might have seen probably the celebration of the year.
Backflip in the studio.
Oh, something like that. I'm sure there's confetti cannons ready. Great ball in. Rimler nearly getting onto the end of it.
Those kickoffs, man. Sometimes they either go your way or they can go completely like to the roof or end of the
Oh, Como nearly had it. Darius able to just flick it right up and over her. There's 1 minute remaining. Now we can see both the esports players take shots on goal as Darius immediately able to turn around and get a goal.
Darius not letting happen what in the previous game.
He went quiet.
Making sure.
He went quiet there for the last minute in the previous game, but he ain't gonna let it happen again. Getting himself a goal within 5 seconds of being allowed to score.
And now this will be interesting to see.
Claudio Como with the shot just wide.
Como setting up Zarcia basically almost.
Now we see Darius having to turn it around on defense. He's got full boost. We'll see if he can get one of these aerials. It's a good shot, but it's an even better save by Zarcia. Right place, right time, and turning it around.
Another one.
End-to-end stuff here, right off the save. Zarcia.
And that's what I'm talking about. Zarcia excellent with the clearance, and then also great on the follow-through.
Oh, setting himself up. With almost that over-the-top through ball, that nice little chip pass to himself. He's tagged on to the end of it, and it's 5-5 here with 33 seconds remaining.
Definitely the highest scoring game today, for sure.
Exactly. So, in an offensive game, now we can see everyone. So 30 seconds remaining. Zarcia here.
And props to Como and Zarcia too.
They've really stepped up here. Is Zarcia with the shot. Now we see Darius here going to try to juggle, but Zarcia able to clear away. 12 seconds remaining.
Like I said, they're going for the major
Is there
upset.
one more goal in this game? Oh, what a save by Darius. The ball's still there. Now we can see if they can take this on the other end. Now Darius letting it roll in. Zarcia making the smart play, letting it run.
And
so overtime.
Now here goes the thing where Rimler and Como are the only ones that can score
For the first minute. Exactly. So 5-5. Rimler and Darius and Como and Zarcia all square here as Rimler with the effort. Rimler with the goal.
Excellent pass. That was an excellent play.
Oh, what a pass by Darius. And then,
even though you could tell Darius was going for the goal, you could tell Darius.
Rimler luckily got on the end of that because that finishes the game 6-5 for Rimler and Darius. They take a 2-1 series lead.
That was a great pass, and other than Darius probably wanting to score himself.
Probably. So now Darius and Rimler have a chance to close this one out and go undefeated in the regular season.
I don't know. I still have it on Como and Zarcia. I think Zarcia can carry them to do the upset.
We saw Rimler there getting the overtime goal.
Excellent play. Like I said, that was a fun pass.
So on to game 4. So here we go. Darius trying to set up. Rimler gets the last touch. Zarcia nearly gets there, and Rimler gets an early goal. 1-0 to Darius and Rimler.
Now, I don't know if Rimler even meant to do this.
Regardless, he got the last touch, so the goal is credited to him. He was out of boost.
Boost is a handicap.
Well, we saw that in week 1. We had to hand out a bunch of handicaps to Rimler and Darius's. They were just so good in week 1. They're handing out 9-1 and 8-1 wins like they're candy.
But props to the other teams though for mixing it up and actually stepping up their defense as well. Though.
Oh, we've really seen that in this game or in this series. Well, defense kind of went out the window in the last game, but we saw there's been a much higher level of defense over the past 2 weeks of this series. In week 1, it was pretty much just all offense.
Yeah, and I mean it was kind of one of those just test out like different things, the players you're playing with, how other play styles.
And Zarcia trying to set something up aerial, and Darius doing a phenomenal job cleaning that up.
Zarcia almost going for the dunk.
That would have been something. Wouldn't have counted, but they'd have to even things up as Darius trying to get Rimler on the end of that. And Zarcia doing a great job of clearing that away. Zarcia has been probably the best defender I've seen throughout these 3 weeks of watching these 4 teams play Rocket League.
Like I said, his follow-throughs with those clearances is what has set him up for a goal. Because it's excellent defensive play.
Rimler nearly getting onto that, and Zarcia just right before he could get a touch to it, just clears it away. Now trying to set up Claudia Como, but Rimler with the one on the defensive effort here.
Oh, Darius accidentally pitching it back towards his own goal, but able to clear it.
Solid work there by Darius and Rimler on the defensive end. Oh, now Zarcia nearly setting it up for Rimler and Darius to get onto it. Again, getting him another chance at it. And Darius setting up Rimler, and he goes just a bit too early, unable to convert the effort. So 3 minutes left, 1-0 the score. Off the wall, Rimler unable to get to it. It was right there at the goal line, waiting for someone to convert, but no one able to. So 1-0 we stay.
Now I think it'll be one of those where Rimler and Darius are now in their groove. You can definitely tell the quick transitional plays, the crosses, they're getting on top of the ball and talking to each other efficiently.
That might be something. Zarcia almost scored from the wall above his own goal. Even if it was accidental, I mean, my goodness, what a shot that would have been.
Excellent
Here we see Como trying to go for it, and Rimler at the last second able to get it away.
Darius just destroying.
Oh, Claudia Como with the shot, and Darius with the save.
An excellent shot from Como, though. The follow-through. And not only that, but that was a quick ball.
You know, I feel like after this series is over, we should do like an NFL type of mic'd up episode with Claudia Como. Just the highlights of what she said over these episodes.
Honestly, her reaction is selling all of it.
Oh, that's been the most entertaining part for us.
Now see, Zarcia though, setting up Como a little bit, she just has to get the timing of those centered balls, and then she'll get plenty of closer.
So here we see minute 30 remaining, 1-0, low scoring game here so far, but we're very close to having Zarcia and Darius duel it out for the last minute. Zarcia to keep the dream alive, Darius to close things out on a perfect regular season. High stakes here in game number 4.
It'll be definitely high stakes because then they'll clinch the number 1 spot for the playoffs.
They will clinch the 1 seed if they get the win here today.
And then that just proves like does that line up an easy playoff series for it?
Well, if things stand as they are right now with 1 minute remaining, Rimler and Darius would take on Studeville and Gatormelon, and Deruvo and Patton would take on Como and Zarcia. So 50 seconds remaining for all of that to change.
And Zarcia just now able to score. He's destroyed by Darius, though.
Como went for a high shot there just under the ball, and 39 seconds to hold on here. Zarcia lines one up, and it's all tied up. 1-1 with 35 seconds remaining.
And he gets to the ball just before Darius, just to send it flying in.
Oh, well, Darius was millimeters away from making a world-class save on that. So with 35 seconds remaining, all to play for.
And like I said, they could, realistically, Zarcia could sell this out. And Como, excellent kickoff. Excellent.
I know, she nearly set it. She's setting up Zarcia here with a great effort. Zarsi goes for the shot. It's still in play here, but Darius did great to get a save on that, and an even better job getting the clearance as Rimler sends it downfield.
Darius had to push Rimler. He's like, go get it.
Oh, here we go. Zarcia, I mean, he turned that wide. That was headed towards the goal.
Como setting up Zarcia right back in her own final third, though.
Here we see, can they make something happen here in the last minute? Darius clearing it away. 1 second remaining. We've seen before Darius able to juggle one with making that 1 second last about 30 seconds, but it will not happen here. We're going to overtime for the second game in a row.
And this could seal out either a perfect season for Rimler and Darius or an upset for Como and Zarcia.
I know, that would keep the series alive as Darius is doing his juggling, sets it up for Rimler. Oh, Rimler got contact, but Zarcia was able to clear. We'll see if, like we said, Zarcia, like we said for overtime rules, the esports players are not allowed to score for the first minute.
But do they even need that first minute? Because Rimler didn't need it last overtime.
So we see about 26, 25 seconds remaining as Darius going for the aerial hit. He sets him up. It's off the bar. Can Rimler get the second chance effort? Can't really get himself up for it. Tries to go for the bicycle kick. Doesn't quite work for him.
That'll be interesting to see how is Zarcia just going to keep this in the final third and set up Como?
What a great play there by Darius to clear things out.
Just got Zarcia a little bit off the wall just so that he couldn't control where he wanted that pass to go.
That was going to be a great cross there for Claudia Como to try to get on the end of, but
here comes the aerial from Darius.
As we saw, we're over a minute in, so now either Zarcia or Darius are allowed to score. Rimler with the demolition on Zarcia. Trying to set up Darius.
Both esports players able to open up now, so it'll be interesting.
Here we go. Darius going for the... Oh, he pushed it just a bit wide with that last touch.
Almost had it.
He almost had that aerial hit from off the ceiling. See Darius getting him some boost before they go for these hits. Now Zarcia going for the aerial hit.
Well, and you can tell Zarcia just doing his cross-field game that he usually does. Go to one side, hit to the other, then quick transition play, and then get to that FB final third.
I see Darius trying to push the ball here, get up on his roof like as per usual. Rimler again demolishing Zarcia. This is the chance for Darius, a shot on goal. What a save by Zarcia.
And that's just excellent play by Zarcia. That was just waiting, not jumping early, just waiting for Darius to hit it off the wall and see where the ball was truly going to land so that he could then line up for his own.
Oh, Zarcia went for the aerial, and I mean, he was just an inch under that ball. This is a duel here between Darius and Zarcia.
Longest overtime we've probably experienced between these 3 weeks, too.
So here we go again, another aerial hit. It's a high hanging ball, but it's cleared away by Zarcia.
Quick. These transition plays are so quick.
This is end-to-end stuff here, ladies and gentlemen. You're seeing a high-octane game. As Rimler going for it, that bounce really killed Darius' effort. I mean, he was flying in to get that touch onto it.
You can just tell he knew as soon as it bounced that
he wasn't going to be able to get it. Now Zarcia, we're 3 minutes into overtime here. Another aerial attempt here by Zarcia. This one might be it, but
here we
no.
go, the double tap.
Saved by Darius.
Almost. Great play from Darius to send it.
So now we're going for another aerial attempt. Darius with a shot. Darius with the goal.
And that's a slip.
Cleared it off of the aerial hit to get the 2-1 win, to cap off the perfect regular season 3-0 for Rimler and Darius.
And that's just play where they clearly, Darius off that wall, an aerial play kept it just high enough so that Zarcia wasn't prepared. He thought it was probably going to go lower than it actually did.
Yeah, shout out to Zarcia for his performance there in that series. My goodness, what a play there.
Absolutely crazy defense. I mean, that was probably some of the best defense we've seen all between these 3 weeks.
So as we saw there, Rimler and Darius win the series 3-1. They're able to get a win over Zarcia and Como. They very hard-fought, very offensive series.
I'm telling you, Como and Zarcia were here for the upset. They almost had it too.
I know, they almost did. Like we said, shout out to Zarcia. That was quite, I mean, individual effort-wise, that was about as best as we've seen from someone defensively and offensively as an all-around player.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I was really surprised too because Como, honestly, in those first 2 rounds, were keeping Rimler out of the play.
So as we saw there, a little recap. We saw in the first match, 3-0 sweep there. We saw Patton and Given get the 3-0 sweep over Studeville and Gaydon. And we saw in this past series, Rimler and Darius get a 3-1 win over Como and Zarcia. It sets it up for the playoffs and coming in a couple weeks.
I'm excited for the playoffs. It'll be fun because all these teams are showing that they have different ways of playing and that each way kind of has its own technique to winning.
So the final regular season standings we'll give to you right now. We see Rimler and Darius in first with a 3-0 record. 3-0, perfect season, regular season for them.
Crazy goal scoring opportunities for them.
Oh no, that's the offensive team right there. And then we saw in second we have Deruvo and Patton 2-1. We saw the Deruvo, Given, and Patton, that 3-man team there. And then third we saw Como and Zarcia at 1-2. And then in fourth, Studeville and Gatormill at 0-3. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have the playoffs for this series coming up in a couple of weeks. We'll keep you all updated on what day that will be, but stay tuned. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. We'll see you all for the playoffs.